Hello and welcome everyone to POV Unpopular, your own podcast channel where we talk about love, life, spirituality, travel, astrology, and everything in between. Today I have a very special guest with me. He's a renowned author, leadership coach, motivational speaker, and a Shiv Bhakt. Yes, I'm talking about Mayur Kalbagh. You might have heard or read or seen his book, The Aghoris, which is an Amazon bestseller. And today we'll talk a lot with him about Shiv, about Kailash, about Aghoris, about spirituality, bhakti, and so on. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and enjoy this beautiful podcast with Mayur Kalbagh. So hello and very good evening, Mayur sir. कैसे हो आप?
Good evening, Har Har Mahadev.
हर हर महादेव.
Whenever I come to Delhi,
Yes.
I really get energized because of the people and the hustle bustle. मुझे अच्छा लगता है. I miss Mumbai because I live in Pune.
Yes.
But whenever I come to Delhi, especially Noida and Gurgaon and all,
Yes.
I feel like I'm in Mumbai only.
You don't feel too populated?
No, fortunately, maybe the timing was such.
Yes.
But I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, that's great. And we are also very happy to have you.
Thank you.
So let's begin the podcast.
Sure.
And I think my first question to you would be, let's start with spirituality.
Okay.
What is spirituality to you? क्या मतलब है आपके लिए spirituality का, भक्ति का?
Sure. It's a good way to start the podcast because that's the fundamental question which also can create confusion as well.
Yes.
I will tell you through the entire podcast, let me make one thing clear that yes, it's coming from my experience and my thoughts. I believe that spirituality is the process or a journey towards becoming a better human being.
Okay.
As they say, it is nice to be important, but it is more important to be nice.
Yes.
So, vinamrata, humility, being respectful, at the same time being fun-loving, caring for others, empathizing.
Yes.
For me, a collection of all these values is spirituality. And when we try and become more and more of these values, we imbibe these values, we get closer to God.
Correct. And in a way, closer to our own selves.
Exactly, because as they say, God is within.
Yes,
so
yes.
You're right.
So, like when we say spirituality and when we say religion, like how are they similar or different?
They're different.
Yes.
And yet they're connected. I don't think they're similar. When I saw my uncle during Ganpati, we would go to Hubli. There's a place near Karnataka. And he would stand there and my aunt would perform the puja. We all were there, my cousins and everybody. My uncle would also recite, as in sing the bhajans, the artis. And yet he would be in his business and but when it came to artis, he would participate. When it came to doing the holding the diya and doing the arti, he would do that.
Yes.
He would sit for the puja and do the rituals as well. And I remember on one occasion, which was not Ganpati, I had gone there for some work. He had told me that being ritualistic or getting into rituals has made him more spiritual.
Okay.
So it's more, if I put it in a way, I would say that rituals are ways of getting more spiritual. Strengthening the spiritual aspect within you happens when we do more of the rituals. If I go to temples, I will feel more spiritual.
Correct.
Because the energy is there in the form of Mahadev or Vishnu or Saraswati Devi. And when we pray, when we do puja, it's a ritual. But through that, our connection is getting more stronger, which is spiritual.
Correct.
So it's more of a connection between ritual and spiritual.
Okay.
To be spiritual, we should encourage ritual.
Rituals. Correct.
Because ritual is there in spiritual only.
Correct. And these rituals, they have come like from so generations to generations. So I'm sure they must be holding some energies.
The
and
only
Yeah.
thing I feel is when any ritual is undertaken, and while conducting the ritual, there is too much of friction between the people.
Correct. How to do it.
How to do it. And
What's the correct
ye
way?
perfect hai, ye
Yeah.
nahi hai. If people get caught up in the process, no,
Yes.
then they forget the purpose of the ritual.
That's correct. That's correct.
वो भी
Yeah.
मैंने देखा है.
Yes, yes,
कि
yes.
I went to a friend's house.
Yes.
There was a puja.
Yes.
तो वो वहाँ पे आर्गुमेंट चल रहा था कि वो प्लेट यहाँ रखना कि वहाँ रखना है. एंड उसमें argument happened, and it went to a point where even we got distracted.
Correct.
It was
It
not like we were like,
happens.
oh my god, ऐसा नहीं था, but we were like wondering कि क्या. I was thinking, अरे प्लेट है ना,
Yes.
भगवान वहाँ पे हैं, वो थोड़ी मतलब वो थोड़ी बोल रहे कि यहाँ नहीं वहाँ रखो.
Yes.
So we kind of sometimes may get caught up in those rituals, which may, if too much happens, then we may forget the purpose of the ritual.
The sense of it. Correct. That's right.
So I feel it's connection that is more important. But spirituality is the end of it. I mean, it's the purpose for which the rituals were created.
Correct. So whenever I talk to you and whenever I see you, you talk a lot about Shiv Ji, about Mahadev Ji. So like, what's your connection to him? And how did it begin? Where did it begin?
Yeah, that's again a very
Yes.
lovely question, because I was never, to be frank with you, I was never ritualistic.
Okay.
But because of the fact that I was born in a Chitrapur Saraswat Brahmin community, in a family, we have our Kuladev,
Okay. Yes.
which is Mangesh, and a temple in Goa called Mangeshi.
Okay.
There's Mangeshi temple and there's Shanta Durga temple.
Okay.
And there are other temples also. But we would always make it a point, as in my father, my mom, my father, my uncle would be with us, my sister Priyanka and me, we would always make it a point to go to Mangeshi, Goa, stay there, do the rituals. That time I came to know that it is, Mangesh means Mahadev.
Okay.
Yeah. The rituals was one part, but I felt a connection to Mangesh because of the idol, the statue of Mangesh, the photograph. And we, in our Devghar, जो हमारे घर पे है, वहाँ पे भी I saw the same photograph, small one. That's the first connection I feel
yeah.
that happened with a question कि ये है कौन? First as a kid. And then I realized that he's our Kuldev, Mangesh.
Okay.
And Shanta Durga is also connected to us.
Okay.
My mother's side, Kuldev is Shanta Durga. So that connection happened, after which my guru came into my life. When I went to take mantra japa from my guru, you need to take it on a particular Ishtadev. Ishta means somebody you're close to. The god or goddess you're close to. I didn't have that kind of a connection. I only would go to Mangeshi temple to pray. And I knew that, okay, he's our Kuldev. So my guru asked me, you not mentioned Ishtadev. I said, you are my Ishtadev. Because my connection and the feeling highest, deepest in its entirety is only for my guru. And so through what my guru said to me, I realized, Nupur, that I think, and I know I said to myself that my Shiva is my guru. So I see my Mahadev, my guru, is my Mahadev. I see my Mahadev in my guru. At the same time, with my guru, I went to Kailash Mansarovar.
Yes. Yes.
And I did the parikrama of Manasarovar with my guru. And there were other people also. I was in my guru's personal seva. When I say personal seva, it's about caring about the guru. You have to be ready at 4:30 in the morning to ensure certain things have to be done correctly. So whenever early morning, we actually stayed in the tents on the banks of Manasarovar. Those are एक की बात है. अभी तो I don't know how things are because I heard there are lodges also. But तभी तो we were living in tents, okay? And my tent was next to Swamiji's tent, and it was so ethereal. For me, that beautiful confluence, na, coming together of me, my guru, and there were other people, but me, my guru, and Mahadev Shiv. And that too in the kshetra where Mahadev resides, lives there. तो और क्या चाहिए? So when you ask me the connection, it started with Mangeshi temple. Thanks to my parents. With my guru. And my japa I took on the Ishta, which is Mahadev. And then to Kailash Mansarovar. I think it happened in 3 phases.
Correct.
The temple, my guru, and mantra, and with my guru when I went to Kailash Mansarovar. And to see Kailash in
I can
real.
only imagine.
See, Nupur, I know people talk about Kailash by reading books.
Yes. And there are a lot of, I think, myths also maybe surrounded.
Of course. तो क्या होता है कि and with due respect to all the podcasters, I've seen a lot of guests who talk about Kailash as if they've lived there and gone there and they've touched. No. I've done a bit of research to find out that no. But I can be subtly confident enough to tell you that I have gone to Kailash. And I have gone with my guru to Kailash. I have gone to Kailash with my guru and in my guru's seva. While doing my Guru Seva at Kailash. To see that mountain in real with your eyes it's for a person who is not a believer, who's not into Sadhana and Shiva, it's a mountain. It's a different kind of mountain. Okay. Some archaeologists may say, wow and all. But for a person who's spiritual, वो जो दृश्य है, and when you know that there is an entity or an energy that resides there, it's full of mystery.
Do you feel that like
energy? There are energies, 100%. Not just at Kailash, but even around, because that place is very conducive to yogis and they meditating at the Himalayas.
Correct.
Even Manasarovar mein, I'm not just saying it, it's said. I mean, I'm saying it, but I'm not saying it, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not just making it up.
Yes.
That there are yogis who have developed the strength to meditate beneath the water for an extended period of time.
At that altitude.
At that altitude. And they are not doing this to tell anybody, because they are not doing that. And they're doing this to shorten the time of their meditation and increase the intensity of the meditation. There are yogis there who have possessed the power to have control over their internal organs and the involuntary function of that. Itni takat, they have developed through their meditation, and they're still meditating. You, me, we might take 10 lives of say 70 years, 80 years each. Each life.
To reach that.
Some of these yogis say we don't want to do that. एक ही life में कर देंगे. So they live that much time.
So talking about these intense meditations and yogis, like what's the purpose of people who are doing it, the end purpose? Why are people doing such intense meditations? And
so the typical answer
is it moksha?
So the typical answer is moksha. Typical answer is moksha. कि वो करते करते they'll reach a state of super consciousness where. But having said that, and having done a bit of meditation, you also have done, I'm sure, I know that. You reach certain spaces in your mind where the spaces in your mind give you a kind of joy, a kind of bliss, which is better than buying a Mercedes or earning 10 crores.
Correct.
The divinity that you feel inside your head and then it percolates through your body, you feel nice. that comes through intense meditation. Now, if this state that we sometimes feel, imagine that becomes a constant. Like you're there in that state. अब उस आनंद में हो. There's a word called anandamayi. That comes with genuinely continuous deep meditation. We feel the flicker of it sometimes. I feel that. When I close my eyes and I just focus my mind here and I imagine a beautiful flame, blue in color, and I'm just imagining, I do feel that. Right now, I was almost going to feel that. Because it's not difficult.
Yeah.
You can picturize,
Yeah.
you can visualize, but you have to, if you can continuously hold that,
Yeah.
that is why that feeling of happiness के लिए लोग करते हैं meditation, and that leads to a constant state.
Correct.
Now, I haven't met a person who's a realized soul, a realized soul, because they will not tell you also. Some things you got to go through it.
But I guess the aura or something,
oh yeah,
you
like
have.
Swami Vivekananda,
Yeah.
Ramakrishna Paramahams,
Yeah.
even my guru, for example, Swami
Yes.
Sadyojata Shankarashram. I remember, I will not put names here, but I remember very, very vividly, my guru would say to a person that, don't be serious, mast raho. Matlab, you know what, mast is masti mein raho, but do your japa. The more you do your japa, the more you'll be in mast. Mast means joy. I've always seen my guru, yes, very, very sincere, very, very intense, but not overly serious. My guru's sense of humor, for example, is amazing. You know, one-liners, very witty. And that's what I would love. I don't want a teacher who's serious all the time. So that's what I feel.
You know, somehow I'm getting the reference of Shri Krishna here, because the sort of personality
Yes.
that he is, on the outside he's all very bubbly and, you know, doing things, but he's a god at the end of the day.
Makhan chor
Yes.
bhi hum unko kehte hain.
Yes.
And he would also, you know, pull a prank on the people who would go to the river.
Yes.
At the same time, Krishna showed his Virat Swarup to Arjuna.
Yes.
So that's what we learn. That's what I have learned from Krishna. वो मुश्किल भी है, और जब भी when the situation demands, he shows who he really is.
Correct. So, talking about sadhana, let's say if I want to begin sadhana and I don't know what to do, what am I supposed to do? Where to begin? What is sadhana? Is it meditation or?
So sadhana, again, like I'm repeating, but allow me to do that.
Yeah.
I will tell you what I have understood
Yes.
through my practice.
Yes.
Sadhan
Yes.
is a tool.
Yes.
साधन का वापर करते हैं, साधन,
Yes.
you know, a tool. So a tool which is your mind, you're using that mind as a way by which you are increasing your peace, you're enhancing your calmness, you're using your mind to visualize and therefore awaken your chakras, for example. I'm giving examples.
Yes.
Mooladhar se Sahasrar tak. When you use the mind, how do you use it? It's not a physical thing. You use it by a combination of pranayam या kapalbhati. Uske baad you can do, I would do om chanting, or I would do bijakshara chanting, yeah, simple stotrams. They're so beautiful. They all pull you towards meditation, which is sadhana. I'll just complete what I'm saying. For example, may I?
Yeah, please.
Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nache Devam Devo न खलु कुशल स्पंदितुमपि अतः स्वामाराध्याम् हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणौतुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः प्रभवति. It's something that has pulled me right now.
And I think us too. We were just listening,
It
although I
is
did not get the meaning, but yeah.
Nupur, understand, when you listen to, tomorrow you called for a concert by Zakir Hussain.
Yeah.
Will you say the same thing to him? Zakir जी आपने तबला बहुत बेहतरीन बजाया लेकिन मीनिंग नहीं समझ में आ गया. You cannot,
But right.
Have you felt it?
Yes.
So
yes.
I rest my case.
Yes.
Stotrams are better because if you know the meaning, you can visualize the description of it. But even if you don't know the meaning, you can feel the vibrations. For example, Om Aing Hring Shring Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Aing Hring Shring Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Aing Hring Shring Gurubhyo Namaha. Aing Hring Shring Om. They're all vibrations.
Powerful something, yeah.
This is also part of sadhana. So the stotram becomes a sadhan. The mind already is a sadhan. So this sadhan of stotrams will influence the mind. It will make you, like you said, I'm sure you meant what you said when you said you got pulled in.
Yeah.
Arey, imagine आप सुन रहे हो, आप pulled in हो रहे हो, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ, I can feel it.
Correct.
For example, one of my favorite, जो मैंने यहाँ पे tattoo किया है, it's so close to me that I tattooed. It's of surrender to my Guru.
Okay.
And I would love to recite that for you and the audience.
Yes.
Om Sarvam Sada Shiva Sahasvamamaparadham Magnam Samudhara Mahatyamumaapadabdhau Sarvatmana Tava Padambujameva Dina Swaminananya Sharana Sharanangatosmi Swaminananya Sharana Sharanangatosmi Gatam Papam Gatam Dukkham Gatam Daridhyamevacha Agata Sukha Sampatti Punyanshcha Tava Darshanat Devo Data Cha Bhokta Cha Deva Rupamidam Jagat Devo Jayati Sarvatra Yo Deva Sohameva Him Om. It's about Sarvam Sada Shiva Sahasvamama Paradham. मेरे अपराध जो हैं मैं आपके चरणों में रखता हूँ. It's like that. It goes on. But for me, it is simply my Guru in whom I see my Shiva. And I surrender myself at my Guru's feet. But the way it comes out, forget the meaning, that's one part. It just takes you, it takes me in that zone. So all this put together helps in getting into sadhana.
Correct.
Breathing, pranayam, stotram recitation, bijakshara chanting, stotram chanting. When we do that, and then we do japa, mantra japa, even normal Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, wo jo karte hain regularly with the mala. If you do it by practicing all the other things, it will lead you into sadhana, which is very intense meditation.
Correct. I was talking to you off camera and you were talking about Koda Chadri, but you said you will tell me more on the podcast, which is, I think, related to sadhana only. So,
Oh, it was very, very beautiful. I don't know whether to call it a story because it's an incident. It's a lovely incident. Incident as in a beautiful happening that happened. So my Guru would typically go to Koda Chadri. There's a temple, Mukambika temple. After prostrating at the Mukambika Devi, temple. It's near Udupi के पास है वो. Then my guru would go on the mountain top. Koda Chadri mountain के ऊपर
been there.
there is an old structure of Adi Shankaracharya. Old structure है वो. It's not a temple structure. My guru would go inside the structure and sit there and meditate from 7 p.m. till 6 a.m.
Wow.
तो मैं एक बार मैं सुना था कि स्वामी जाते मुझे I wanted to really that time I was single and full on ready to mingle with meditation. मुझे there was a point of time when I want to take sannyas also. नहीं सच में. तो then I was फटका आउट कि क्या my guru said wait करो. Anyway, so I went to my guru. I said I want to Koda Chadri is very interesting. So Swami said come. So I went with Swamiji and there were 3-4 other people from Mukambika temple. We drove up and then we trekked at the top of the mountain and they've got leopards and wild animals, everything. But we went there was a forest guest house there, so we were kind of looked after. Went to that place and to see, you know, people say what is a miracle, kya hai miracle? For me the miracle is to see my guru. Firstly, to see my guru is a miracle. An entity that wakes up at 2:33 in the morning and meditates, and then as a Mathadipati they do their duties as a Mathadipati. But there we saw some bug marks of leopards there. Near the structure. Which is a little away from the guest house, the forest guest house or the forest house, whatever it's called. So then Swamiji went in and sat, and I wanted to also meditate. So you know, when I have not done that, you feel like you can do it. So I sat there and I was my bed and I was sitting outside. My guru is inside. After 45 minutes to 1 hour, I started feeling, पहले तो बहुत जोश था ना, बाद में I felt as if there were ants crawling on my leg. But it was, in Marathi we say mungia alayat. You know, it was very numb. And I still said no. I've come all the way to Koda Chadri, I'll sit. So I sat. It started paining after, like from 45 minutes, another half an hour I sat. My God. I felt as if my bones were aching. My bones inside my thighs were aching. Ultimately, I said I can't do it. And there were other people also who were doing their meditation, but they were outside somewhere. When I tried to get up,
you could not.
I couldn't. And I got scared because I was wondering, kuch to hua to nahi? Because it never sat for like, it was almost 1.5 hours that I sat. And I think it was because I'd never done that before. But going to Koda Chadri and with Swamiji inside, I wanted to. The pain was unbearable. Because pura wooden ho chuka tha, dukh raha tha. बहुत दुख रहा था. Finally, I had to lift my leg like that. Literally, you know, जैसे कोई निकाल के रख रहा है ऐसे. The moment I kept it down, because it was on a ledge, I kept it down, I think the blood flow started. But again, it was, you know, when when the numbness increases, even if you touch, it kind of tickles you a bit. It was bad. It was tickling. I couldn't even touch my feet to the floor. And the ache had reduced though. But my God, I was like, what to do? So somehow I waited. I couldn't do anything else. Waited. I went to the side of that structure, had some water, and then I walked around. लेकिन मेरे में बहुत वो कीड़े बहुत थे. I said I want to go back and sit. I sat again. But you know, through the entire time, there was no sound. There was nothing from inside. It's only later on at 7, my guru came out. So he looked at me. So how was it? Looked at me. The people, just Swami was checking how things are. Chai, hai, sab, because we are there. But I'll tell you, Nupur, that was a very important part of my life. I won't say a turning point, but I understood that मैं संन्यास लेता हूँ ऐसा. It's not easy.
It's not easy,
अरे 1.25 घंटा में नहीं बैठ सका. Now I can sit because habit also happens.
Yes.
You sit n number of times, your body also starts acclimatizing. But my guru, even for Mahashivratri, my guru would sit at 9:30 in the night as the puja start for Mahashivratri. But my guru would sit and straight away get up at 6:30 in the morning. If there are four yams, four Shiv Pujan के 4 प्रकार होते हैं.
Okay.
And after every yam, Swamiji would just look and say, you all can go and have your tea and have your nashta. Those who want to sit, please sit. You can sing your bhajans. Swamiji would sit like that, and I would keep noticing, and I couldn't. I would come and 6:30, Swamiji would just get up, go into the kutir in the room, come back, and then give tirth. But Nupur, when you see all this, it has an impact because you're seeing it with your eyes. And I was looking at my guru. तो मैंने बहुत सीखा. Koda Chadri was an eye opener, rather a leg opener for me. But these सब experiences really made me, I think, more clear about where my direction of my spiritual direction should be. Like I can't just leave and it's not meant for me now. जो आएगा time तो आएगा when I feel like okay, I will leave everything and go. Maybe in some other life, maybe. But for now, I'm just enjoying my spiritual life. I live the life of a normal human being, but my guru is there, so I get the guidance from them about how do I intensify my sadhana as such.
You know, you're talking so much and with so much of respect for Guruji. So I think it again emphasizes on the importance of a guru because हमारी स्पेशली हिंदू जो संस्कृति है वहाँ पे गुरु को वैसे भी बहुत ऊंचा दर्जा दिया जाता है, इवन मोर देन गॉड हिमसेल्फ. इज दिस ना गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागो पाओ, भले हरि गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताया. सो इट्स एक्चुअली, I mean, yeah, I think everybody should have one such person, perhaps.
I was telling a friend of mine that to have a, I know it sounds a bit cliched, but if you have a boat,
yes,
a ship or a nice boat,
yes,
but without the sail, you will not get direction. You will not be able to go in that same direction without the sail because there will be winds. It's a metaphor for life also. The guru acts as the sail.
Correct.
Your friends are there, but guru is the one who epitomizes wisdom, spiritual wisdom. They can differentiate between what is right and wrong, which we may not be able to see.
Correct.
And therefore I feel that we should pray for the guru, especially spiritual aspirants जो हैं, जो आध्यात्मिक में रुचि रखते हैं. You cannot go and find a guru. Yo, Mayur, you're so lucky you have a guru. I wish I have a guru. Can you help? God help you pray. Now, I don't know which life that this soul prayed that in this life I got a guru.
Correct.
That I was born in the community of Amchi, we call it Amchi Gala, as in Chitrapur Saras Brahmin. And our community was blessed with the guru, but for me, personally, my Swamiji is my guru. And I'm sure that people who ardently pray, वो आते हैं. And the guru understands that and comes. I've heard about that also. Takes 2-3 years of tapasya. But if you're strong-willed, you really have the utkanta, the urge to have a guru in your life, वो आते हैं.
And perhaps maybe if you don't have till that time, you can take Shiv Ji or Krishna Ji, someone like this as your
guru.
guru.
See, guru doesn't mean only in flesh and blood.
Yes.
Swami Vivekananda is a guru to so many people. Paramahamsa Yogananda is still a guru to so many people. And they've taken samadhi, no? I know a couple of my friends from Maharashtra who look at Sant Jnaneshwar as their guru. It's like you said, it's how you connect. And that person may be reading, say, the autobiography of a yogi. Autobiography of a yogi is a nice book by Swami Yogananda.
Yes.
अभी ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि when you read, you get more connected to Swami Yogananda, and that is how you feel. Okay, you take them as your guru, and you take messages from them. You start connecting with them. Babaji, Mahavatar Babaji, who is like he's also understood as Shiva. बहुत advanced yogi है. Even now they are said to be alive in energy form. They are also guru to so many people. They are the ones who, as I address him as they are the ones they are the ones who initiated and got the science of Kriya Yoga in this world.
Right. Correct. Wow. Okay. Talking about your book
Yeah.
and Aghoris,
Sure.
but like, पहली चीज तो how did this interest came in your life, because it's a little different. मतलब Aghoris में कैसे आया?
I think first interest was snakes for me.
Oh.
तो पहले ही now when I look back, I believe that पहले ही से कुछ ऐसे चीज़ों में इंटरेस्ट थी मेरी जो would shock people. I loved snakes. I mean इतना कि मेरा जो घर था, अभी we sold it, my ancestral house in my native place Shirali, I used to go scorpion hunting.
Wow.
Because वहाँ पे ना it was arid. My farmland, it was half an acre land. But I used to pull up the big stones, hoping I'll find a scorpion, and I used to find scorpions there.
They did not bite you?
No, they don't. They don't. That's what. So I don't know. ये बदमाशी है या क्या है मुझे पता नहीं. एक बार तो मैंने pull किया तो there was no scorpion, there was a centipede. Yeah. And I was scared because centipedes can be really scary. Now, the question was Aghori.
Yeah.
I was trying to say as a route, I think the urge was to always try and search for something unique, something different, something dangerous. When I saw the Aghori Baba or Aghori Sadhu in Mumbai, in a Hanuman temple, when my father would take me on a Saturday, apparently he was sitting there, the Aghori Sadhu, with bhasma and only his underpant. I think that got me more attracted कि बाबा ये क्या है? Because it was completely adbhut. I'd never seen an entity like that. Chata. And his eyes were red. Normally eyes are red when something goes in. So my dad pulled me back. Though I was keen to go and just observe. As a kid you keep looking, keep staring. I think my dad must have noticed. He pulled me back and he, I think later told me that he must be an Aghori or a Naga Baba. वो अंदर बैठ गया, ये अघोरी साधु है. So that's the first, I think, pinch I got, a good pinch, कि ऐसे भी होते हैं जो योगी हैं. I was too small to understand too much of it. Later on, straight away cut to my training days. I got to meet two Aghori sadhus because I wanted to meet. Because two of the participants in the training program were from Varanasi.
Okay.
And then I met them. That is when I started thinking of writing a book, because I got to know so much about Aghori sadhus from the Aghoris. And this was through contact. Otherwise they would not open up so much. It gave me so much of knowledge about the Aghori sadhus, Nupur, that I cannot, even now I believe it was almost like I was called by them. I never knew that Aghori sadhus have a guru. I never knew that Aghori sadhus go to the cremation ground for a purpose. Not to loiter around ki, eh, maja aa raha hai yahan pe. No. They go for practicing some technique of meditation, which is prescribed by the guru.
Okay.
So ye cheeze, I felt I should try and put it out. Now for a person who's not even passed properly in English in school, to write a book. लेकिन आई थिंक जब वो होता ना कि करना है तो आ गया. And I must have been good in English. So I started writing. And they had told me quite a bit. In fact, my Aghori Part 2 is getting published by Penguin.
Yes.
And I've started writing Aghori Part 3.
Wow.
इतना है. इतना कुछ है. और ये Part 3 के बाद भी बहुत कुछ है.
Wow.
They are one of the most ardent devotees of Shiva. We, not me, on you, but many people have been exposed to the Aghori only through the lens or the prism of flesh eaters. They drink, they do anything. It's not at all true. They are not flesh eaters, or it's not like they just go and... It is part of a technique of their sadhana that they extract certain energies from the flesh of a burning, half-burnt body of a person. They've been called cannibals and all. And I make it a point in every podcast, if the opportunity comes, to say that they are not cannibals. And it's atrocious and wrong to say that. They are Shiv Bhakts. Unka path alag hai. Their path is very different. We are taking Bhakti Marg. We are taking Mantra Marg. They are taking Aghori Marg. Where they go through the fear, what we fear, they go through that. I have a friend of mine who was joking about them to me. I only told him कि ये क्या है, ये सब ऐसे पहन के चलते हैं. And the way he was speaking was very disrespectful about them.
Okay.
And that's because there's nobody to counter. So I told him, firstly, don't, because they're Shiva Bhakts. Would you say that about any Bhakt of Shiva? He didn't say anything, but he would not, because he himself is a Shiva Bhakt. I said, you are joking about they going to cremation grounds. Would you go to a cremation ground even if it's 1 p.m. दोपहर के टाइम पे? तू जा, एक चक्कर मार के आ जा. I'll pay you 100 rupees right now. हाँ, उसमें क्या है? So there's a cremation ground near Shivaji Park in Mumbai, very close to where we live in Mahim. तो हम लोग शिवाजी पार्क जाते थे, तो मैं चलो लेट्स गो. हाँ चलो लेट्स गो. वहां तक ठीक था. उसके बाद उसको याद आया कि उसको और कुछ काम है. अभी मैं कुछ बोल, आई कांट से मच टू हिम बिकॉज़ व्हाई शुड आई एम्बैरेस हिम मोर. उसकी लग गई. अरे afternoon time you can't go to a cremation ground. The Aghori sadhus practice their sadhana at 1 to 2 a.m. onwards. They do it because they want to connect with the spirits. So they are different. They are different, and their different ways of doing sadhana has to be brought out, which is why I have written the book Aghori and Untold Story. And I want to write about Naga Babas as well. I want to write about Tantra. Tantra is not bad. It is how it is misused that is bad.
The black magic where it comes,
When magic is misused, it becomes black. When magic, it's not really magic, but I'm just using colloquially. When magic is used correctly for the right purpose, it is white magic. So I feel there's so much that people need to know about this kshetra. It's, we talked about ritualistic and spiritualistic. I think people should understand something between that, which is this aspect, the Aghori, the sadhana aspect. How do you pronounce certain words? How does it create those vibrations, those frequencies? Today on my YouTube, on I think Spotify or one of those, I have got I'm sorry, I've got certain sounds. ऐसे कुछ sounds है. They're high level hertz कहते हैं उसको.
Yes.
Some sound hertz.
Frequencies.
Frequencies, I think for us the better word is frequencies. Why? Because it's supposed to cleanse you. मेरे को तो हेडेक होना शुरू हो गया उससे. High level. But if you say Om जटा कटा हि संभ्रमन् भ्रमन् निलिम्प निर्झरि विलोलवीचि वल्लरी विराजमान मूर्धनि धगत 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 ज्वलल्ललाट पट्ट पावके किशोर चंद्रशेखरे रति प्रतीक्षणं मम कदा निलिम्प निर्झरी निकुंज कोटरे वसन् विमुक्त दुर्मति सदा शिरस्तमंजलिं वहं विमुक्त लोल लोचलोल लाम भाल लग्नक शिवेति मंत्रमुच्चरन् कदा सुखीं भवाम्यहम्. I don't know how many hertz and frequency का number पता नहीं, लेकिन this calms me more. We are also part of that frequency. So if we can just awaken this aspect now, we'll go beyond rituals and spiritual and ritual will be there, but we'll go to the real essence of it.
Correct. And there can be so many ways to reach somewhere, right? Absolutely. And how do you know only your way is the right way? Correct. So, like, knowing all of this about Aghoris, if you can say what's that one thing that we all can imbibe in our lives from their life, like what
I would say extremely strong power of the will. Yeah. And it's defined by the purpose. Their purpose is to merge with Shiva, to accomplish Shiva Tattva, to become part of it. That is their destination, for which their willpower is strongest. Same with Naga Babas also. If you go to Kumbh Mela, you'll find a lot of Naga Babas practicing. They take a sankalp for years that they'll stand on one leg for n number of years, or they'll raise one hand. I saw Naga Baba with one hand up, right hand up. It had become like a twig because his sankalp was that for some 11 years, 11 years he will stand with this right hand up continuously. खाना भी खाएंगे तो लेफ्ट हैंड से खाएंगे, तो इट इज विल पावर, बिकॉज उससे ही डिसिप्लिन आ जाता है, बाकी सब आ जाता है. The strong determination that converts itself into strong willpower is what I'm also, I'm learning from the Aghori sadhus. Their willpower helps them to reach Shiva Tattva. Slowly, as a sadhaka, the willpower should be that I increase the duration of my meditation also.
Correct. For us, I suppose. Yeah.
Because we have other things to do as well. We are family people. So, वैसे, for them it's completely that. But even when we are leading our lives and playing different roles, when we sit for meditation, instead of sitting for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, can I sit for half an hour? Okay, half an hour for 2 years, great. Can I increase it to maybe 1 hour? ऐसे करते करते maybe after 5 years I can sit for 3 hours. But at the root, I believe it should be the divinity inside should be woken up. And that happens with the Guru. Dakshina se samarambha Shankaracharya madhyama Asmadacharya pariyanta Smarya Guru parampara. This was the first shloka I heard in my life. And that was by my Guru. And that changed me. That is the power of the Guru.
Correct.
उनसे ही विल पावर बढ़ती है.
Correct. And I think, as you said, all of us should at least strive to be a little more willed in life. And
fall in love with nature. We think falling in love is only, I love you. No. Love is okay. That's okay. At a normal level, it's okay. But admiring the different facets of nature and really falling in love with nature, like completely going, oh my God, वो feel hona is also spirituality according to me.
Correct. I think nature is like great when it comes to connecting you to the supreme.
There are two gods for me. God mein.
Yes.
One is the energy from nature and the energy from love. Like loving even a human being. You love. Like the way I feel love for my daughter, I literally have to check whether my soul is melting. Because I love my son and daughter both, but I love my daughter. The daughter होते हैं. लेकिन उन दोनों के ऊपर my love for my Guru.
Yes.
That love is beautiful. It's powerful. And love for nature. When you look at a lake, एक सरोवर है. And you just look at it. वहाँ पे पैसा नहीं है, कुछ toys नहीं है, कुछ नहीं. You are just feeling fulfilled, happy in bliss. And you're happier that phone nahi hai. You're not disturbed by phone calls, nothing. You're just admiring nature. That feeling, I think, is, like you said, the closest that you can get to God.
Because I think every time you return back to from nature, something inside you changes. Like something.
Yeah.
Like if you really go there without your phones or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
experience. Because I also trek and hike, and something as simple as just hugging a tree. It's
Oh,
so
yeah,
underrated.
yeah.
I feel.
No, it's so underrated. But I can sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you hug the tree,
Yeah.
it doesn't remain a tree. It's not an inanimate object in any case. It
Yeah.
also has got consciousness.
Yes. Yes.
So something must be happening, right? You must be
Yes.
feeling that.
Yes.
Have you ever sat inside a cave?
Yes. Yes.
That also is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Especially if you're alone.
Huh.
I'm not saying you should leave everything and go somewhere else, but even if you're in a temple and there's a small, kabhi kabhi hota hai, in a temple, uske piche, there's a small little cave
Yes.
type of thing. You just go and sit there for some time.
Yes.
I think there's a Babaji's cave. Vasisht cave is known as in the north somewhere.
Okay.
People go and meditate.
Huh.
My point is, even that is part of nature.
Yes. Yes.
It just takes you into a different zone altogether.
Yes,
when
because
you-
there are energies, so many
Yes,
energies
yes,
of so
yes.
many yogis and
in
everything.
Anahata, we did one in Goa. You know what we did?
Hmm.
We took the people, the participants, into the ocean. South Goa, the oceans are very beautiful, very, very safe. We went to the ocean to the waist level, chest level. We stood there, almost getting, moving along with the
Water,
movement of the ocean, and we started doing Om vibrations. Even that is something very different. Kuch alag hai, but very beautiful.
Very beautiful. I know.
And that's also nature, no?
I did scuba diving in South Goa, and
Oh my
even
God.
while you are inside the waters
Oh,
doing
yeah, yeah,
scuba, you are just in a very different zone. And
Completely.
Yeah.
And there's so much beneath the water that we still don't know about.
Actually, 70% I suppose is inside the waters. Yeah. So I think you have brought some damru or something. Can
Yes,
you please?
I always feel that talking about Mahadev
Yes.
is beautiful, but talking about Mahadev and showing you something that always is along with Mahadev, apart from the Trishul,
Yes.
I believe that I brought something which also
Yes.
becomes part of Mahadev.
Yes.
We associate it, and
Yes.
that's Damru.
Yes.
Now it has got the way they play the damru is different though.
Yes.
Normally they do it like that, right?
Yes.
But it's a bigger one. So let me see if it comes out.
Okay.
Like that. I'm still practicing it, but what I love is the way the damru is played like a drum.
Yes.
So it's like this.
Wow.
This is a very, very ancient instrument.
Huh.
So it's not like the cosmetic part is not there.
Yes.
So all you do is you kind of pull the strings and the pitch increases. For example, so there is a different kind of feeling, but I've also got something else. Can I show that? to you?
Yes.
It's a Tibetan bell,
Bell. Wow.
which I brought from Kailash, Mansarovar.
Wow.
And that's why I believe a lot in vibrations.
Yes.
So if I can show it to you like this, it's nothing great, but the vibrations are so beautiful. So can I request you to
Yes.
close your eyes? Yeah. You can open your eyes. See
Yeah.
the roundness of that sound.
Hmm.
It's almost like an om that comes out, I feel.
Yeah. It remains. Yeah.
And there's a wave. That's why when you
Yeah.
close your eyes, you can literally feel it's moving
Yeah.
in waves.
Yeah.
And sound does move in waves. I brought this and I bring this because when we say मुझे sadhana करनी है, I want to meditate, I want to get closer to Shiva, by listening to pravachans, by listening to podcasts, especially the theoretical parts, is not enough. I'm coming from my perspective. Okay. I applaud the podcasters, the guests who talk about different, aspects of Mahadev. But actually, I believe it is the practice.
Of course, yeah.
So I had a friend of mine, actually now he's become a friend, but that time he was a bit of a skeptic. Okay. So I told him for just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because Saturday, Sunday is his off. He works in Hinjewadi, Pune. I told him on a Saturday, Sunday and a Friday, when you come early, because Fridays he has a half day, or he comes early. I said, just practice this. Om Aing Hreem Shreem Gurubhyo Namaha. I told him, just practice this 11 times and then forget, you do whatever you want to do. Because he was arguing with me about vibrations kya hai and all that. Fair enough. On Monday, he came home. We live, Pune is not a big place. He came home, he said, I want to show you something. So he said, okay. I said, okay, fine. I thought he's showing me some mobile phone. I don't know. He sat and he did this. And he was, he was having a smirk over his face. He's like, Mayur, I don't have to even close my mouth. He's like, I said, okay, what did you feel? Because that, yes, to cosmetic ho gaya hai. He said, Mayur, I'll be honest that I felt calm. I felt more relaxed. And maybe I felt more balanced. Abhi usne bola. I don't know how much of it is exaggeration, but it's true. He said, mere stresses काफी कम हो गए.
Correct.
Now I'm sure it's true. I don't like to distrust him, but then I do believe that करना जरूरी है. I love chanting stotrams. I love chanting my Bijakshara. Even at the Anahata, we are starting Anahata online from October 5th.
Okay.
So by the way, you can DM me.
Yes.
And you can also, it's online because there are people outside India. And like you use the word sadhana, कैसे किया जाता है? What is the role of chanting? Chanting कैसे किया जाता है? How many minutes do you invest in the Bij Akshara Sadhana? ये सब I believe is the doing part.
कोई टाइम होता है specific.
Exactly. People think getting up at 3:34 in the morning, अरे कितने दिन करेंगे वो लोग? We are not cut out for that. But can you wake up at say 6 o'clock in the morning? Maybe not every day. Maybe Friday, Saturday or Sunday. 2 days in a week start तो करो. If you feel हाँ अच्छा लग रहा है, then एक दिन से increase करो. I was doing twice in a week. I'm doing thrice a week. Good. Can you do it 4 times a week? Okay. ऐसे करते करते maybe 5 days a week.
Correct.
But the ruchi जो आती है ना तभी, it is it's intoxicating. It's
Correct.
almost addictive.
Correct. Because initially even I used to be very skeptical, and from my personal experience, I started Mahamrityunjay mantra just to see, that's all. Like people talk about it, let me see what it is. And to be very honest, I have never felt any mantra or any lines so powerful that I felt like Mahamrityunjay
Can
mantra.
you chant it?
Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti.
No, chant it the way you chant it.
So I take my mala. I have a mala,
fair enough.
and I just do
But
it.
I want to know the tone, if you don't mind. Just I want to get inspired by that.
Okay, I'm not a chanter, but I'll try.
No, I just want to know how you
Yes.
chant at home. How do you chant?
Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urva Rukme Vandanaye Mrityor Mokshe Mamta.
Very nice. Very nice. Perfect. Now, इसमें एक tone भी होता है.
Yes.
Tune या tone.
Yes.
Can I show
Yes,
it?
yes, yes.
ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयः मामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकै यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयः मामृतात् Om. So that Om becomes like an interlude between the two mantras.
Mantras, yeah.
But
yeah.
the clarity in the utterance is most important. Tone is later. Your clarity is fantastic. Even if our viewers may jo spiritual hai, or they want to explore spirituality, even this mantra they can start chanting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if you chant 7 times, 11 times.
Yeah.
No need to chant 108 times initially.
Yeah.
But like you said, you feel the power.
I do, because when I started, because it's a little difficult to pronounce mantra. So when I just started, I used to listen it because I didn't know how to pronounce. So I just YouTube pe chala liya and I used to just listen it, and usi I used to feel so good. So I'm like, wow, this is my mantra now.
There's one mantra, there's one stotram.
Yeah.
After that you can.
Yes.
Which I find personally like it takes me into a forest.
Okay.
And that too in front of an Agni.
Wow.
Can I chant?
Yes, please.
It's my way of saying thank you also for the podcast, for inviting me here. It was one of the most free-flowing, like, two sadhakas talking. Ekante krita samvedagni havanena atmavabodhapradham Hrīṅkārākṣaravallabham mrugadharam Hemadribāṇāsanam Rākāchandra-samānakanti vadanam Shri-Rājarājeshwaram Shokaranyadavanalam Sukhakaram Shri Somanatham Bhaje Shri Somanatham Bhaje Om. I like that. Ekante krita samvedagni havanena atma avabodha pradam. It just, that line takes me inside. There's one more. Kalpadau kamalasanopi kalaya vidhakkayachit kila tvam dhyatvankuryanchakara chaturo vedascha vidyascha taha tanmatar lalite prasida saralang Saraswatam dehi me Yasyamodamudirayanti pulakaihi Antargata devataha Antargata devataha.
Wow. The way you say it, oh my God.
It comes from my hridaya and it's all inspired by my Guru Swami Sadhya Ojata Shankarashram.
Yeah, it's so much of power, Wow, literally Shiva Bhakt. I mean, you can feel every time I talk to you, honestly.
But having said that, I'm a normal guy. You know what I mean? Like, I love to, go with my kids and enjoy with my friends.
Yeah.
But this part is, ye mera core hai. That's the fact. I mean, that's why I love writing.
Yeah.
Because through that, I'm transported to another world.
So, whenever we talk about Aghoris, or मैंने जो photos देखी हैं, मुझे, like, I don't know why this question, मुझे सारे उसमें males क्यों दिखते हैं?
Because वो है males. because their techniques of meditation, उनकी जो साधन हैं, are not comfortable with the women.
Okay.
That is why most of the men, they find it easier. It's a very tough way of doing your sadhana. So that is, there are, but ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं है. There are female Aghoris. If you go to Kamakhya temple on certain days of the year,
हाँ.
lot of Aghoris congregate there, आते हैं वहाँ पे. उनमें से काफ़ी Aghori, female Aghoris वहाँ पे initiate भी कर देते हैं खुद को. But the percentage is less.
Less, yeah.
Even in Naga Babas also, the percentage is less because the entire structure of the sadhana is something which the males find it more conducive to do. You'll find more women into bhakti marg.
For sure, yeah. Yeah.
वो कृष्ण की कौन थी वो
गोपियाँ मीरा
नहीं the lady who was a very ardent devotee of Krishna. Meera Bai.
Yeah.
She is the biggest exponent of bhakti yoga.
Yes,
वो भजन गाती थी.
Yes.
मीरा भजन.
Yeah. Because I think psychologically also, I don't know, it's like females, वो सब emotions ज़्यादा होते हैं as compared to the techniques. We are more about emotions.
Absolutely.
Bhakti marg, yeah.
At a practical level, it makes sense. No?
Yeah. So, and like when we talk about Aghoris, India में, where do you find most of them? Like
you'll find them एक तो near and about Varanasi.
Yes.
Near and about, not only at the ghats. अभी तो कम हो गए because it's become so. There are so many people who want to meet them that they've gone further into the jungles. You'll find them in the Himalayan forests. You'll find a lot of them at Junagadh in the Gir forests. There's a big tribe of Aghori sadhus, but they live far deep. And if they want, they may not. They can make themselves not visible to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you cannot.
Okay.
You will not see them, even if they're there.
Okay.
Yes,
This I didn't know.
So, where science has ended, spirituality starts.
Yes.
There are yogis who can stay without taking a breath for minutes to hours. Minutes, not two. From minutes to hours. Just by practicing pranayama. ऐसे हैं. But their whole life is that only.
That is why you don't encounter like them often, yeah.
And they don't like to also come into this world. Their world is very different. The Aghori world is very different. The Nagas, Babas world is very different. उनके अखाड़े होते हैं. There are panths. They have their own way of doing sadhana for Shiva, for achieving Shiva Tattva. So it's very, very vibrant. I call it vibrant consciousness. That's why at our level, as long as we are connected to spirituality through nature, through guru, through stotrams, through pranayam, and while we are doing that, our other aspects of life, the roles we play, like a father or a mother or a daughter-in-law, all that has to happen because it's Kali Yuga. We can't just leave everything and go. And this role we play, the combination is vibrant as well. Even this podcast, which I'm sure a lot of people will see, will watch, even if they take a percentage of that and practice, it'll make their life very vibrant. Really, I feel that.
Right. Wow, it was very, very nice, intense and powerful talking to you today.
Thank you.
I honestly hope to see you again.
I hope so too, because I had a lovely conversation with you. It was very free flowing.
Yes.
It looked like a podcast as much as it looked more like a wonderful, intense conversation with you. So that was good. I really thank you for that.
And I think we'll still have a lot to discuss.
Sure.
I'll see you soon again.
Definitely. Thank you. Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev, and all the very best for the books coming.
Thank you. And I look forward to having another podcast soon.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.